Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. It is time to go through the news of the day for War Thunder, and there is a decent amount of it, which is kind of cool. The first thing is the Dragon Box. Now, I talked about this when it came to the winter event, that the gambling mechanics in War Thunder will be expanded. And the reason is because people are getting used to them. And this is something that I've talked about previously, and it sucks. I didn't see anybody really complaining about the gambling stuff in the game. And now it's just going to get stuck into all the different areas of the game. They started off with SL boxes to go ahead with. They then tested G boxes afterwards, and then did a few rounds of SL boxes for the winter events, and then G boxes in the last winter event. And now what we're going to get is more regular gambling mechanics, because there is no use engaging themselves, bringing back content without adding an RNG element to it, because for some reason people are fine with that. Imagine if you got an event for specific vehicles where you could get the vehicles or the old vehicles back, but it was guaranteed that you could get to them, instead of having to throw SL at a wonderful box to see what would happen and what is through them. As usual, when it comes to gambling, I'm not a huge advocate of it. Not really because of the gambling itself. I don't really mind gambling if you are of age, you know. At the end of the day, it is an addiction, and as somebody who has dealt with people who've had addiction for many years, and even been addicted to stuff myself, I understand it's not a very nice place to be. So basically preying on it is not great, but at the end of the day, if you're an adult, you have to make your own decisions. Also, at the same time, this game is 14 plus, so not everybody playing is an adult. Then, on top of this, you have the simple fact that this is a way of stopping certain things coming back into the game in different ways, instead of just bringing them back normally. And that sucks. That's the biggest issue with this whole thing. In this good old Dragon Box, which obviously is meant to kind of celebrate Chinese New Year, along with Call of the Dragon, what you get in it is actually a bunch of World War mode stuff. So, in this one is Chronicles of World War II, which would actually happen around this time. Pages of History, World War mode, and also the May events in general. So now, every single event going forward will have this kind of box. Well, it might do. It probably will. We'll see. But it'll have this type of box, and basically what that means is every single event you'll be able to get the old vehicles back, but only through gambling. Isn't that cool? Isn't that fun? Isn't that enjoyable? I hope you like those economy changes, by the way, because the idea of those economy changes is so you have more SL to gamble with. So therefore you have less SL afterwards, when you have got a bunch of random stuff, and that's about it. Instead of having the 50,000 SL box and the 10,000 SL key, they have now just decided that the box will be 60,000 SL. It'll be in the item shop, and of course it won't just have the stuff I mentioned, it'll have a bunch of useless things for you as well, which you will mainly get. Stuff such as boosters, universal backups, wages and orders, and also SL will be the main thing that you sort out, but there are a bunch of vehicles that are on offer as well, technically, such as all of the event vehicles from this period of time. There are certain ones which are coupons, there are certain ones which aren't, which is kind of interesting, but the main ones to look out for is the Sublinder, and also stuff like the Boarhound, and of course the Excelsior. These vehicles are in very low supply when it comes to the market, and they are definitely going to, continue to do this stuff over and over again. For me, the only vehicle I'm missing out of all of these is the Sublinder one, and so I'm not really interested in the boxes. And also, as I said, there's the whole issue with the boxes and having problems with kind of setting up the whole gambling thing. which kind of sucks. So yeah, not too fun. One of the more interesting things about this, though, is it does mean that people can power grind the event by, grinding out a ton of SL and then dumping it into these events, which are probably going to come around every time. These boxes are available from the 1st of February to the 28th of February, by the way, just to let you know. It also, it doesn't require a key, and also it can only be purchased by players who have bought at least one researchable vehicle at rank 2 or higher. So if you're a new player, you can't use these. Why? I don't know. Probably to stop people trying to pump up alternate accounts, and then also trying to sell stuff on the market and then try and get market share of specific things. That would be my guess. And I don't know why that would be as useful to do. Maybe the chances are different depending on how many you open. But yeah, it's just kind of how it is. The other thing as well that you can get is actually the trophies from the World War mode. So the World War trophy for decoration and also for vehicle, those are in there. I tell you what, it would be really nice to see percentages on these things just to see how many are available. The other problem with this, as I said, is the fact that, they don't, you can't get this stuff really, or you can't get a lot of it anywhere, especially stuff like the profile icons, for example, for the Page of History. It sucks that after putting in so much work for these Page of History things, to be able to get the profiles, to be able to get the additional stuff, now basically we're saying, well, you could have just waited and dumped a ton of SL into these things, especially since a lot of the Pages of History are actually quite rough to do. Like, they're not exactly easy ones to sort out because some of them only have like 2 or 3 vehicles in them. So it would have been nice if, once again, they either reran the event, so therefore you could get stuff back, or maybe they changed it up so you could get stuff in different ways. It makes me sad. I don't know how else to put it. These mechanics are everywhere now, whether you watch sports, whether you watch, pretty much just TV in general. You can bet on anything nowadays, and it's just very much penetrated into the culture. It is the one thing right now which is seen as kind of a legalized addiction. Smoking has been one of those things that's been kind of hammered by regulation more recently, which is why cigarettes are incredibly expensive. Weed is one of those things which also has become in certain areas fine to do, but also very expensive. And alcohol has also been getting expensive and also a bad rep because of course, all the issues that it causes. But for some reason, gambling just isn't there yet. It's just all part of everything now. I can't stand it. I actually hate it. And now we're seeing what it looks like in War Thunder. It will get to a point where every event will have a accompanying box with it, and it will all have the previous event stuff in it. And the only way to get the old stuff will be from gambling. There are much better ways of doing this. There are much better ways of bringing content to people which isn't like this. But unfortunately, this one is the most profitable, and that just makes me sad. As always, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. I'd like to thank Schnitzel Stroker, Brendan Quinn, Vilneus, Character Fuel, Carrion Crow, Nicholas Richardson, Gus Irenicus, Pyman, Wartinder, Teddy, Daniel Stanton, B. Young, Opium Prime, Masonocrat, Lafouche, Alan Hacker, Sem Arslan, Uncle Bean, and Derek R. for supporting the channel.